my wife betrayed me, and you're not here, but I'm still talking to you like you never left. Like you're standing somewhere in the shadows, pretending you can't hear me. You broke something in me that didn't make a sound when it cracked. I trusted you with the parts of me I never showed the world, and you handled them like they were replaceable. You didn't just lie to me. You rewrote every memory we had, turned every promise into a joke I was never meant to laugh at. I keep wondering if you ever meant a single word, or if I was just another role viewed perfectly until you got bored. You know what hurts the most? It's not the betrayal itself. It's the way you looked at me while doing it, like I was still your safe place. You touched me with the same hands that were already dirty with lies. You said my name like it still belonged to you, and maybe that's why it still echoes in my head. I gave you loyalty without conditions, protection without questions, love without limits, and you repaid it by making me doubt my own worth. You made me feel like being devoted was a weakness. I replay every moment now, searching for the exact second you stopped being mine. Maybe it happened slowly, or maybe it was instant, like a switch flipping in your heart. I don't know. What I do know is that I stayed. Even when something inside me warned me, I stayed. I defended you in my mind. I fought my instincts for you, and you let me. You watched me love you honestly while you were already walking away in your head. I'm not begging you. I'm not asking for explanations. I'm talking because silence is heavier than anger. You should know what you created. You turned a man who believed in forever into someone who questions every smile, every touch, every word. You didn't just betray your husband. You awakened a side of me I never wanted to meet. A colder, darker version that doesn't love blindly anymore. If you were here, I'd look you in the eyes and ask you one thing. Was I ever enough for you? Or was I just convenient until something else caught your attention? I made you my world, and you treated it like a place you could leave without consequences. But understand this, you may have betrayed me, but you don't get to erase me. I remember everything, and memories like mine don't fade quietly. So I'll end this the only way I know how, strong, controlled, and unbroken on the surface. You lost a man who would have burned the world to keep you safe. I lost someone who never truly stood beside me. And that difference, that's what will haunt you long after I stop speaking your name. You think silence means I've healed, but silence is just where I keep my anger disciplined. I don't scream, I don't chase, I don't expose you to the world the way I could. I let you walk away with your version of the truth. Even though mine is bleeding behind my ribs, every night I sit with the weight of what you did, letting it carve me sharper instead of weaker. You taught me how dangerous love can be when it's given without limits, and now I carry that lesson like a weapon I never wanted to hold. I trusted you in ways men like me rarely trust anyone. I lowered my guard, let you see the cracks beneath the crown, let you touch the parts of me that were never meant for gentle hands. And you didn't hesitate. You stepped right through my loyalty and left footprints on my pride. I wonder if you ever understood what it meant to be chosen by someone who doesn't choose often. Or maybe you did understand, and that's exactly why you betrayed me. There are moments when I still talk to you in my head, not because I miss you, but because unfinished words are louder than memories. I imagine telling you how easily you replaced what we had, how quickly you forgot the man who stood between you and everything that tried to hurt you. You didn't just lose my love, you lost my respect, and that's something I never give back once it's gone. I've stopped asking myself where I went wrong. Love wasn't my mistake. Believing you were different was. You wore honesty like a mask, and I believed the performance because I wanted to. That's on me. But what you did after gaining my trust, that's on you. You chose to betray someone who would have stood alone against the world for you, and choices like that follow people longer than regrets. You probably think I've moved on, that I've erased you the way you erased me. The truth is colder than that. I remember you clearly, but without warmth. Your name doesn't soften me anymore, it sharpens me. You became a reminder, not a wound, and reminders don't hurt, they teach. I've learned exactly how far devotion should go, and exactly where it must stop. If you ever hear my name again, it won't come with affection. People come with caution. People will tell you I'm different now, more distant, more controlled, harder to read. They won't know you were the reason. You were the chapter that turned trust into strategy and love into restraint. I didn't break, I evolved. So don't look for me in the past, and don't expect forgiveness wrapped in soft words. I'm not angry anymore. I'm precise. You had my heart once, and you chose to betray it. Now all that's left is a man who remembers everything and owes you nothing, not love, not hate, not even closure. I don't wonder anymore what you're doing now or who you're with. That curiosity died the moment I realized how easily you lied to my face. You taught me that knowing too much about someone doesn't mean knowing their truth. I knew your habits, your fears, your smile, but I never knew your limits. You crossed them without hesitation, and I was left standing where loyalty used to be, holding promises that expired without warning. I used to believe strength meant holding on no matter what. Now I know strength is knowing when to let go without making a scene. I didn't collapse, didn't beg you to stay, didn't ask you to explain yourself. I watched you fade out of my life with the same control I used to protect you. You mistook my calm for weakness, but calm is just power that doesn't need to announce itself. There are nights when your voice tries to return, sneaking into my thoughts like it still has permission. I shut it down instantly. You don't get access to the man you helped create through betrayal. That version of me is guarded now, disciplined, careful with every emotion he releases. You once had freedom in my world. Now you don't even have a memory that hurts me. You thought my love would make me blind forever. You were wrong. Love sharpened my vision. It showed me exactly who you were when things got real. I didn't lose myself in you. I found myself through you. And what I found was a man who won't be fooled twice, who doesn't confuse attachment with destiny anymore. If fate ever puts you in my path, again, you won't recognize me. Not because I'll pretend you never existed, but because I won't react. No anger, no bitterness, no longing. Indifference is heavier than all of that, and it's the only thing you earned. I won't explain my silence. You wouldn't understand it anyway. I've learned to keep my world smaller and my loyalty rarer. Not everyone deserves access to what's real. You had it once, and you treat it like something temporary. That was your choice. Mine is to move forward with eyes open, heart guarded, and standards you could never reach again. So this is me, still talking to you even though you're not here. Not because I need you to hear me, but because I needed to hear myself. I survived loving you. I survived trusting you. And I became someone you can never hurt again. That's the last thing you'll ever take from me. I don't romanticize what we had anymore. I see it clearly now. Intense, consuming, real to me, convenient to you. I built a future in my head while you were busy building exits. You smiled like you were committed, but your heart was already negotiating its escape. I don't hate you for leaving. I hate you for staying long enough to make me believe you wouldn't. That kind of deception takes effort, and effort means choice. You don't know how deeply you altered me. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way people notice at first glance. It's quieter than that. It's the pause before I trust, the distance before I open up, the calculation before I care. You turn my instincts into analysts and my emotions into guarded territory. I used to feel freely, now I feel deliberately. Sometimes I imagine you trying to explain yourself, telling your version like it absolves you. It wouldn't. Reasons don't undo betrayal, they just decorate it. I don't need closure wrapped in excuses. I closed that door myself the moment I accepted that honesty was something you borrowed, not something you lived by. You didn't misunderstand me, you underestimated what losing me would mean. I gave you stability and you mistook it for something unbreakable. You thought I'd always be there, solid, forgiving, waiting. That was your biggest mistake. Loyalty isn't permanent when it's abused. Respect doesn't regenerate once it's destroyed. You had something rare and you treated it like it was guaranteed. There's a difference between missing someone and missing who you thought they were. I don't miss you. I miss the illusion I trusted. And even that fades with time. The truth has a way of erasing fantasies, replacing them with clarity that doesn't sting anymore. It just settles. I'm at peace with knowing I loved honestly, even if you didn't. I don't speak your name out loud now, not because it hurts, but because it doesn't matter. You became a lesson, not a loss, the kind of lesson that doesn't repeat itself. I don't carry bitterness, I carry boundaries. And boundaries are far more powerful than revenge. So if this is the last time I talk to you in my head, let it be clear. You didn't destroy me. You refined me. You didn't end my story. You exited it. And I'm still here, standing in control of everything you no longer have access to, including me. I don't carry regret for loving you the way I did. Regret belongs to people who loved halfway. I gave you everything without holding a receipt, without planning an escape. That's not weakness, that's courage. The only tragedy is that you weren't built to honor something that deep. You stood inside a love you didn't understand and treated it like something temporary, something you could step out of when it got heavy. You never saw how much restraint it took for me to stay calm while my trust was bleeding. I could have destroyed you with truth, could have turned your image into ashes with a single sentence, but I chose silence, not to protect you, to protect myself. I don't move out of emotion, I move out of control, and control is the one thing you never managed to take from me. There were signs, small ones, moments when your words didn't match your eyes. I noticed them. I ignored them because I wanted peace more than suspicion. That's the price of believing someone is yours. You don't watch them like an enemy. You stand beside them like a shield. And while I was shielding you, you were already sharpening your exit. You might think you won because you walked away lighter. You didn't. You walked away empty. You lost the kind of loyalty people spend their whole lives searching for. I lost someone who couldn't stay true under pressure. That's not an equal loss. That imbalance will follow you into every future you try to build. I've mastered the art of not reacting. Not because I feel nothing, but because I feel everything and choose discipline over chaos. You don't get to see my anger. You don't get to hear my pain. Those are privileges you surrendered the moment you betrayed me. Now all you'd see is composure, and that's the most dangerous version of me. I don't need revenge. Time handles people like you far better than I ever could. One day you'll realize what you traded away, not dramatically, not all at once, but in quiet moments when loyalty is missing and love feels shallow. That the realization will hit harder than any punishment I could design. So this is where my words end, even if my strength doesn't. You're no longer someone I speak to. You're someone I survived. I move forward without you, without bitterness, without hesitation. And the man I've become, he doesn't look back because everything worth keeping stayed with him.